If you want to set up your finances for successful and even more importantly for peaceful marriage, keep watching because I will show you exactly how to do that. Obviously, one of the biggest reasons for divorce in the marriage is miscommunication about the finances, and that's why I'm making this video, because me and my wife found an effective way for our finances to work for both of us, and it can work for you too. Now, before I go further into this video, just a quick disclaimer. This video is not a financial advice. I'm just simply sharing my own personal experience and what works for us. However, you are solely responsible for your own financial situation. Now, to start, we keep majority of our money on joint accounts, especially the main checking account and also high yield savings account, and that actually does few important things. First, it provides full transparency, so me and my wife can check any account at any time, and obviously that's a good thing because it also builds trust. I think second benefit of these accounts together is that it forces both of us to communicate about any large spending. So if someone wants to buy some larger purchase, we communicate together first, and also if there is some emergency spending, we both decide where to pull the money from to cover the spending. And the third benefit of this joint accounts is that actually it helps our financial goals and planning together, which I think is important too. Now, before I go to our full financial setup and how we pay the bills and etc., I just want to mention something. The only way you and your spouse will be happy with the finances is that all your debts, especially on the credit cards, will be fully paid off, so that will reduce the stress in the relationship. And also, and I think this is very important, make sure that you and your partner have extra pocket money, basically some extra savings for each of you. Now, if you owe the money on the credit cards especially, and maybe the student loans, try to figure some way to pay them off first, maybe find some way to reduce spending or find some extra hours to pay this debt quicker, so that way these debts will no longer hold you back financially. So here is our specific financial setup with my wife. All our income is deposited to the main checking account, and that of course includes my wife's salary weekly, but also all my revenue from all the sources like YouTube, Amazon and etc. And then all the expenses are paid out from this account too, obviously including mortgage, utilities, grocery shopping and etc. Basically every single expense in the household. However, the majority of our shopping and also some subscriptions are put on the credit cards, and the reason we do it that way, since our cards are obviously paid off, at least we earn some extra cashback rewards, but then again we pay off these credit cards every single month from the same checking account. Now, speaking about the credit cards, I have 7 credit card accounts and my wife has about 4. However, mainly we use only my accounts, and the reason for it is pretty simple. Since mainly we only use few credit card accounts, we have more control and we can budget everything better since we have clear vision what's going on with our credit cards. Now you might want to ask, Chris, so why are you using your credit cards mainly and not your wife's credit cards? And this is actually a good question, but you see, the reason is that in every marriage somebody is better with the finances. Usually that person pays the bills, even though we both make money of course, and overall has better understanding about the finances and more control. And in our situation that person would be me, but your situation might be different of course. Maybe your spouse has more control. Now, with all that being said, we also have one joint high yield savings account together, and that's in Capital One Bank. I will show you that video at the end of this video. So this is where we keep majority of our savings, of course. Now, we also have 2 separate savings accounts. So my wife has her own Chase savings account, and also we both have weekly allowance. So my wife's 300 weekly allowance, if you will, goes basically to that account. So whether she wants to buy some extra clothes, paint her nails, or even send some little money to her family occasionally, we both agree that the money for these things will not come out from the main checking account, and that's why she has her own this extra savings account. Now I have a separate account as well, but since my wife makes more money than me, especially this year since my revenue lowered, I don't really deposit any money in there, especially right now. However, in the same token, if I want to buy something, I basically talk to my wife, explain to her why I need it, and then I just go and buy it on the credit card, we pay it off later, and for most part there is no issues with that. That's why I think the communication about the finances or pretty much about anything else is the most important thing in the marriage. Now, if there is some emergency large spending we need to do, we normally pay it on the credit card and then pay it off from the checking account. However, if there is not enough money on that checking account to cover the next month's credit card payment, then we transfer some money back from our high yield savings account. So overall, I think this financial setup works so well for us and would work nicely for majority beauty of married couples is that everything is fully transparent and we don't have to argue about our expenses, since we both follow our financial rules, if you will. And even if we spend little extra money, like my wife for example, that money won't come out from our main checking account or high yield savings account, since there is some weekly allowance already set up. Look, the most important thing to have a happy marriage is to have similar vision and financial goals, and fully transparent finances on all the accounts will definitely help. So okay, this is it for this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to click this video next. This is our experience with Capital One high yield savings account, and as always, thank you for watching.